Let's give it up for Lotus and Briar.
When I was 5 years old, my legs didn't scuff the ground when I sat down. I could run as fast as I wanted to without losing any of the force or excitement that I had started with. Every time I fell down, there was always someone to pick me back up and put me back on my feet. 5-year-old me had no limits, and having no limits was important when I tipped forward, flying headfirst over the lip of my favorite toy shopping cart, making that suicide plunge to the concrete, and came up laughing. At 5, I would spring right back. I would fight with my first best friend over the simplest of things, and at one point challenge her to a boxing match to win the heart of our kindergarten crush. I was the biggest dreamer. My wide eyes never ceased to shine at the idea of being a musician and sharing my music with the world. At 5, the world was anything I wanted it to be.
When I was 8 years old, I didn't get a lot of homework. The only thing printed on my conscience was the multiplication tables. In a school full of unfamiliar faces, I was finally stable when I met my player 2. And he was my idea of a hero. Granted, he was a boy and boys were gross, but he played rugby on a cosmic scale. He scooped up the moon and punted it across the Milky Way. And on those days where he couldn't see anyone in the stands, he picked stars like flowers and crowned himself. So with my second in command, I barricaded myself in against the real world. I armed myself with weapons of fantasy to protect from reality. Stories. My blood became words, and they whispered and exclaimed and hissed and yelled through my veins. They fluttered from my lips, flitting through the skies and alighting on the minds of all those people who were impressed by the 8-year-old who could hold her own in a grown-up's conversation. When I was 8, I was free to write my own story.
When I was 11, all I wanted was to be 12 because I wanted to get away from primary school.
And I needed to make more friends. When I was 12, all I wanted to be was 13 because all I ever wanted was contact lenses.
And I was desperate to finally be taken seriously.
When I was 13, all I wanted to be was 14 because I wanted to get away from my graduation dance.
And I wanted to get away from the milky color of my skin. Now that I'm 15, I'm finally growing up. I spent the years 7, 8, 9 running away from this, but here I am on the brink of this, standing on a cliff, waiting to plunge forward or be pushed.
Unable to say the words, but feeling them vibrating through my core, my very being. The essence of who am I is shaking and echoing with these 3 simple words. And I'm scared. We are scared. Because now we're 15, we would give anything to be 5 again.
I'm halfway to 30.
And yet you say, I do not know what love is.
You say I do not know what loss is.
You say I don't know what the real world is like.
You say that my problems are not relevant.
And yet you also say that I am ready to build the foundation for the rest of my life.
Now I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my life.
These tests and credits are looming over my head as the only way to access
I don't want to be
future.
another cliche teen living this
Some
fake
of you
high school
will crack
dream.
under pressure.
I am drowning in the ocean of work I've been dealt.
It's okay because we're the special students, so it's always
And sure,
okay.
gifted and talented students who already stand out really shine and achieve their academic and personal
scares
potential.
me so much.
Trying to take in the whole world, my mind is at full capacity.
You have time to have fun when you're dead.
These test scores are running my life and deciding my
that brand new
worth.
pair of Nikes achieved.
Trends are taking a dark turn.
Driver's license merit.
Bipolar bag of bones, excellence.
The romanticization of mental illnesses projects like a black and grey galaxy on the ceiling that I burn
Self-inflicted
into my
scars
eyes
have
at
become the
4
new
in the
beautiful.
morning.
Screams of help me have turned into screams of look
The pressure
at
of
me.
assignments and peers are stacking up like mountains.
Choices are becoming slim roads with no turnoffs, roundabouts,
My
no
desperation
exits.
is scratching the skyline.
Suicidal excellence.
The idea of university is no longer an idea, but a matter of when and where.
Student loans have taken up residence in my closet in place of the
Price on
monsters
life
that
keeps
once
on
lived
rising,
there.
and we are going to be thrown in the midst
I don't know
of
how I
it.
can possibly be expected to afford my own
It's
life.
like I have to buy my life from someone else.
What if I'm hanging from my closet or sprawled on my bathroom floor like the other 6% of teens in New Zealand?
I don't want to be another statistic.
I
for
don't
the
want to be
unemployed, for
another
the wasted
damn number
life.
swimming in with everyone else.
I don't want to drown in everyone else's
At 5,
similarity.
I couldn't drown because there was always someone watching and waiting to make sure that I stayed afloat.
But now that I'm 15, I see no one there.
No one is watching anymore.
No one is waiting.
We're on our own. Now that we're 15,
we would give anything to be 5 again.
Lotus and Briar, ladies and gentlemen.